Welcome back to On the Light. I am your host, Susan Johnson. For today's episode, I am honoring the request of listener Ramani from Northern Virginia. She wrote to me and asked if I could have Prashant tell the story of when Guruji and his wife had an identical dream, which then changed their fortune. Prashantji recalls this remarkable incident and brings it to life for us today. Please enjoy this episode of On the Light. Hello, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you for meeting me. Did you see my message about the request, the question that came from a listener? Would you like to talk about that today?
Okay.
All right, great.
Okay. Well, Guruji's economic background was miserable. Family background financially was miserable. So was the case of my mother. They were not well-to-do in their homes, and Guruji also had a tough time. He was not even educated sufficiently. He just passed the matriculation, which is the end of schooling in India. And there he failed in English. And therefore, he was not qualified to take any job in government offices because Britishers were ruling India then. So those who failed in English could not get job in government offices. So he was deprived of it. And then he was very sickly child, which everyone knows. So he could not pursue his education because he had failed in English. So he could not go to university courses and the college, etc. He had to stop his education at schooling, end of the schooling itself. There was no scope that he could pursue education. This was in 1934 when he passed his matriculation. So it was different system then. And then Guruji was a sickly child, so he could not be going for any job as well, private job, because he was all the time falling ill. So major concern was the health for him, and all of you know that he therefore went to T. Krishnamacharya, his brother-in-law, his elder sister's husband, who was T. Krishnamacharya, the Yogacharya. So Krishnamacharya asked him to join him in Mysore and help his sister there, and at the same time learn yoga and improve the health. Because those were the days where health was not improved. People were not trying to improve the health with medicine, because medicine was very expensive. Or dietetics, it was all very expensive.
Yeah.
So there was the only resort was to go for yoga for health. And that's how he went to Mysore. And I don't have to tell you about, because people should know, they have read his life. So how and how much you could learn yoga from him. Then he came to Pune in 1938 with barely 2 rupees in his pocket. And therefore, right from word go, when he came to Pune, which was almost 1,000 kilometers away from his native place, it was almost a foreign place because different language. This is the problem in India, that if you leave your native place, more often you have to face unknown language. India is a country of some 21 languages. And so he had a language problem. So again, there was a problem for him to procure a job in Pune. And he did not even think of it. He thought it is better that he starts teaching yoga and make his living. So in 1938, he came to Pune. He had torrid of a time for those first 3, 4 years. He could not get any lucrative offers to be teaching. So he had to depend on private tuitions, helping some ailing people, etc., etc. But he was not financially well at all. Many of you have heard and from him as well as from the biographic account that the world knows about his the book. He had only one meal a day. More often, at night, he would just take water and go to sleep. So it was miserable time economically, financially for him. And he was fighting hand to mouth, which nobody can imagine.
No.
Uh, those who know him later, they can never imagine what was his uh, plight
Mm-hmm.
just with regards to food. And when it is a life problem of living, making a living, people easily compromise with principles. They just kick away morality, ethicality, just because they are miserable financially.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a man of principles. He had that rich culture behind him. And therefore, he fought his way single handedly. He said, let me see how I can uh, make two meet. But then, first 4 years were very difficult time for him. Many times he would um, take just a coffee to quench his hunger.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he was hungry, he had no resort but just take little coffee. So this is hard to believe, but it is very true. Then his family back home, his mother and his elder brothers, they thought when he's staying far away, is almost a foreign country to be coming to Maharashtra from state of Mysore, now called Karnataka. So they thought that he should be married. It is not proper for him to stay all alone, away from house, away from home. So they insisted that he should get married. Although he was refusing, he knew that when he has such a problem, financial problem, economic problem, and he did not think of going for family way. So he
Mm-hmm.
was refusing very often. And under some pretext or the other, he was avoided to get married. But then the force was too much. And therefore, mother put pressure on him. His mother put a lot of pressure on him. So he had to yield to her pressures. And then he got married in 1943. So my mother joined him in Pune. After the wedding, she joined him. She came to Pune. And then he had his problem doubled. Uh, that he had now two mouths to be fed while he was struggling to feed one mouth. So his problem, agony, worry got doubled and more than double because it's not just another person, it is his wife. He has
Right.
brought a girl from another family. So it was more a responsibility for him. And it was a story of a time that he had. So his major prayer was that his financial problem should be sorted out because he has another person to be fed, and that too as his wife. And so that was it at the back of the mind for him that he should be not having this uh, difficult time financially, so difficult that usually no common man, middle class family man person has such a problem, but he had that problem, although he was a middle class for society. The mother also understood his plight, and she adjusted, she compromised, she adjusted, she realized that he is in a financial crunch. And therefore, she very much reconciled. She was also from a poor family, but uh, it is because of her culture, that she quickly reconciled and did not add any burden to him. She took care to see that he is not additionally burdened because of family that he has formed. And but both of them in the mind had this kind of problem, taking bite of their mind, psyche, consciousness from all sides. So they did not talk to each other with regards to problem. So Guruji was facing his problems on his own. He was not trying to reveal it, confide it, nor she was doing that. So they were suffering on their own, knowing that the other person is also suffering, counterpart is suffering. So that's how they managed for some time. But this problem was definitely creating a lot of problem to both of them, that they are not only economically not settled, but totally unsettled. So then it so happened on one night, uh, both of them got a dream. And in the morning, they related the dream to each other, and both of them had identical dreams.
Wow.
The goddess Lakshmi, who is the uh, goddess for primarily wealth and all kinds of wealth. So she appeared in their dreams, and she blessed them with some cereals. Now, cereals is very auspicious grain, particularly when we always bless someone with cereals.
Oh,
We, we try to sprinkle cereals on the head of the person. Suppose somebody is prostrating, somebody is seeking blessing and trying to prostrate. We don't just say, "Oh, God bless you."
okay.
So we immediately get some cereals and we try to drop some cereals on their head as a mark of blessing, because cereals are very auspicious kind of grains. And as a matter of fact, in South India, we have the uh, tradition of calling rice not as rice. We don't call rice as rice in our language. We have the word for rice, cooked rice. We have a word for that. So some of you might be knowing that one of the words is bhat. Bhat means rice, to be the cooked rice that we eat with the dal, etc. So we don't call it cooked rice. We call it prasadam. Prasadam means, you all know the word prasad, which is given after prayers, after worship, which is a form of grace. So in South India, we have this culture and convention of calling the rice. They don't say, please serve me rice. We would say, serve me prasadam, serve me prasad. They won't say that for chapati. They won't say that for uh, anything, other preparation, which are available for meals. But when they want rice, they say, serve prasadam. So that's what that cereals are. And so Lakshmi blessed both of them when they prostrated. She blessed both of them with cereals, and she said, you will overcome your problems. And next morning, they were surprised that how come the same dream came to both of them. The
Mhm.
same deity appearing in the dream of both of them and giving the same blessing to both of them. So they thought that this is a good omen. It's an auspicious omen, and now they they were pretty sure that they will soon overcome the problem. And it so happened then that slowly the financial problem went on wane. Guruji started getting private tuitions of affluent people in Pune,
Mm.
the richer people in Pune, financially well-to-do, financially one rich and affluent people, and so they were quite generous, and they gave him sufficient fees because Guruji would not have asked for that fees, but they themselves decided the fees and started paying him good amount.
Mhm.
And in 1944, Gita was born.
Okay.
So this was after 43 and before Gita was born, they got
Okay.
this dream. And a first daughter is always considered as Lakshmi. It is
Mm.
very auspicious to have first daughter. A couple is more blessed when the first child is a daughter than the son. So they uh, got a kind of reconfirmation that Gita is also born. So Lakshmi is born, and they felt much more comfortable with that. And later, second child was born, then third child was born, etc. But Gita was born first, and that was considered, that is still considered, that the first girl child is Lakshmi
Mhm.
to house. So in another way, Lakshmi entered the house with the birth of Gita.
Mhm.
Then in 19, so this was 1944, 1945. So Guruji was slightly on rise in economic status. He started getting some name, fame, recognition for what he did. His yoga was very efficacious. What he taught was, of course, remedial yoga. And because people only came to yoga for with some maladies, nobody came to learn yoga. And nobody came to learn yoga for fitness.
Mhm.
Diseased people only came to him. So diseased people were little generous that when they felt that they are getting good relief, they increase the fees voluntarily on their own. We are feeling fine, we are better off, and therefore they themselves. So he got good a group of students, chunk of students who were generous on their own. This
Mhm.
increases remuneration, the fees for the classes. So he was getting better off after Gita was born. Then after second child was born, that second child uh, did not live. It was a still child. The third child was Vanita, and fourth child was myself. So anyway, the prosperity started, and there was a rise, like sunrise, prosperity rise was there for him, and that gave him some solace, and naturally, his uh, fervor to practice, fervor to teach, got an impetus. Because earlier he was not being paid or he was not getting students at all. So he was little frustrated, dejected. Will I be able to continue with this vocation or this profession that I've opted for? Or will I have to give it up and go for any job when now I have family behind me?
Mhm.
Uh, that first daughter, second daughter, the second daughter did not live, but the Vanita and then myself. So he would have lost the impetus to be teaching. He would have thought of going for any job in case if he did not do well.
Mhm.
But that didn't happen. Uh, he was slowly getting into comfort zone. And in 1951, it was almost a bonanza. In 1951, he got invitation to come and teach in Mumbai. At that time, it was called Bombay.
Mhm.
So another affluent person, it was a medical practitioner, uh, and his wife, doctor and his wife. Somebody from Pune, his student suggested they had some problem. So they said, why don't you try? I have got a lot of relief from PK Iyengar. So this person in Pune was his name, he was a seed merchant. His name was Pocha, Pocha, Dora Pocha, that was his name. And he was well to do, very well to do. He was the number one seed merchant in Pune. So that was the business called Pocha Seeds, botanical seeds. And he suggested in Mumbai, his friend, who was Mehra Malegaon. At that time, she was Mehra Vakil. Later she got divorced and remarried and became Malegaon. But Mehra Vakil, Dr. Vakil and his wife. So they invited Guruji to be taught yoga. And they were so impressed that they started telling other Parsis in Mumbai, and Parsis were better off financially, economically than on any other uh, members in India, societies in India. Parsis were very affluent people. Parsis were very generous people. Parsis, even today, they are gem as far as the culture is concerned. So he got many Parsis to be taught, and that gave him a lot of comfort. So he started going to Mumbai in 1951. He would go on Saturday morning, teach in Mumbai, and come back Saturday evening. He had about 2 or 3 private tuitions, and which he managed because Mumbai is about 120 miles away from, and it's about 4 hours by train. So 4 hours to go and 4 hours to come back, 8 hours. And then the 4 hours were enough for him to teach the classes, private tuitions. So he got better uh, foundation for economical uh, status rise. And soon, at a rapid pace, he soon got promoted to economically in India, upper middle class. He was in lower middle class, and then comes middle class, and now it was upper middle class. And then, therefore, we all were very comfortable economically. We had no problem at all. We never had slightest clue that our parents are have suffered and were suffering economically, financially. That they could not, the two ends could not meet. Hand to mouth struggle was there. We had no clue. Could not even not even knowledge. They never told us that we had such a misery. We are very miserable and we suffered a lot. They never said anything to us. We never knew about it. So we were all financially comfortable. My elder sisters and myself, and the later younger sisters, we had never had any financial problem, economical crunch, financial crunch. We never experienced. So you can understand how soon he recovered from the financial nadir that he was in. And now we were very, very, very comfortable and we were better off than people around us. Economically, we were better off than all our school friends. So we had no clue about the miseries that my father had and mother had financially. So that's how the blessing of Lakshmi uh, came very, very, very true. And thereafter, Guruji never looked back. There was never ever economic or financial problem for Guruji throughout the life thereafter. So from little before 1950s, after Gita's birth, it was just on a high pace, high speed financial growth. And ultimately, Guruji became a rich person from point of view of Indian community. He was a rich person uh, by the time it was maybe 50s and 60s. Later came Menuhin in his life in 1951. Mehra Vakil introduced Menuhin came to India, and then she said he had a nervous debility problem, nervous breakdown problem. He could not play concerts, so his profession was at risk. So she was his friend. And when he came to India, she suggested that she should also try BK Iyengar. So, because she was a friend, she said, okay. Because he was a guest of our Prime Minister. Prime Minister then was Jawaharlal Nehru. And he had come to India as a guest of our Prime Minister. Prime Minister tried to wean him away from his inquisitiveness to go to Iyengar. He said, I've got better yogis. This person seems to be a young boy. And a young boy cannot be a yogi. And I don't think that he's a yogi. I have got my own teacher. And I will introduce you to my teacher. But for Minihin, his friend had greater credibility. And then maybe he saw Jawaharlal Nehru's yoga teacher. His name was Dhirendra Brahmachari. But then he was not impressed or whatever. But he said he opted for coming to Guruji. So he came to Mumbai, and then Mehra Vakil arranged for him to go to governor's house, my father, and because he was the guest of governor of Mumbai. That was a Bombay state then, not Maharashtra. It was Bombay state, Bombay province. So governor is the chief of the administrative uh, clan in India. So Guruji went to governor's house, and in a first encounter itself, Guruji highly impressed him. And he said, well, I want to continue with you. And then Guruji's trips started. He started. His first trip was in 1954. Menuhin invited him. He spent a month in Switzerland, in Stade. So, and that's how it started. Then Menuhin introduced him to an American friend of him who was William Harkness of Harkness Foundation. I think they had this gas company. If I may say so, it was Kosan Gas.
Okay.
Later it became SO Gas. That is the American company. So she invited him for his family. She was also an ailing person. So Guruji went to US. First visit, he went to Rhode Islands, and she was staying there in Rhode Islands, and he taught her for another month. And she introduced to some of the other Americans who also joined his classes, and they were all impressed. So Guruji had thumping success in all his commencements when it came to teaching yoga. He was highly impressive in his teachings. He impressed everyone. And that's how his second trip came about. And then Menuhin also told his other friends, musicians, Malkozinski, etc. And he introduced them to Guruji. And he said, well, we all want to learn yoga. So you start coming. And Guruji started going yearly from 1960. 1960 onwards, every year he went to Europe. And then Asian Music Circle was another important landmark. He was a Kannadiga, that is a Karnataka man. So he spoke Guruji's language, and he had settled in UK. and he had started Asian Music Circle. He would invite the Indian musicians and perform in UK. So Guruji became his guest. He said, invited Guruji. He met Guruji in London, and he said, come and stay with me. I am also Karnataka man. You are a Karnataka man, and let's stay together for a while as long as you are here. So Guruji stayed with him, and he also did a lot of spade work for Guruji to start his classes in Asian Music Circle. So under the auspices of Asian Music Circle, Guruji started his public classes, general classes. So outsiders could come and join the classes, and that's how it started. So the point is, Lakshmi were blazing forth in his life. Never ever in his life, he had a financial crunch. Not only did not have financial crunch, but it was always appreciation, upward trading financially. He never had any dip. That's how the blessings of Lakshmi were absolutely fruitful. And he never looked back financially thereafter. And he never had any problem financially. He was getting uh, more than he expected, but commensurate with what he deserved. Before that, he could not think of earning money as much as he deserved because no money was coming to him. So whatever money came, so his expectation was very little in the beginning in the late 30s, early 40s. But once Lakshmi blessed him, so my father and mother had enormous uh, reverence, gratitude, devotion. Now this Lakshmi is also deity of Tirupati. In Tirupati, we have Srinivasa, and in lower Tirupati, we have the temple of Lakshmi. So this is on the top of the hills, 7 hills is the temple of Narayana, and at the foothills, there is temple of Lakshmi or Padmavati. And that is, they are our family deities.
Okay.
Coincidentally, the Lakshmi Narayan are called Srinivasa and Padmavati. They were family deities to my father's family deities to my mother's family. That was a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
So we have the concept of family deity. All of us have a family deity. And coincidentally, both of them had the family deity, even personal deity. The deity was even personal deity for my father and mother. Family deity was also same uh, Lakshmi Narayan or Srimasa and Padmavati. So that's how they were blessed by their personal deity, by their family deity. And that was a great coincidence that my mother and father had. I think that should be enough.
Okay.
Okay. So this has come in his life. You can read in his biography. Although he did not write autobiography, there is biography. So that this account is given. Anyway, I
Is
said that
is it,
extempore.
yeah.
Okay.
Is it typical that, or not typical, but are there other accounts of blessings that come in dreams to people?
Yeah, dream. Actually, if you read my books, there I said the dream. There are so many kinds of dreams. If you read my article in the Yoga Millennium for Millennium, there's a talk I gave, one of the talks in Guruji's 80th birthday, and that was about dreams. So I have spoken about classes of dreams in the talk. I've spoken about the classes of dreams in my book, where when I deal with the Swapna Vritti. Swapna means dream. There is a sutra, Swapna Nidra Jnanalambanam Va, in the first chapter. Swapna Jnanam, Nidra Jnanam. So the Swapna is a incredible thing in our life. It is like this. As a human being, we have limitations.
Yes.
But in dream, all these shackles are broken, cut aside. You can fight 10 wrestlers simultaneously and defeat them. You can encounter an elephant and defeat it. What is impossible to human being, that's the dream consciousness it's not just a dream, it's a dream consciousness. In dream, you are unlimited. If you are a stupid person, you can be doing some wisdom activity in dreams. And most of the revelations in yoga for yogis happen in dream because you uh, break your delimitations. Otherwise, we have delimitations such as man, woman, young, old, strong, weak, intelligent, unintelligent, or intelligent and stupid. So we have lots of limitations in our awakeful state. But then, who are you in dream state? You are not a man, you are not a woman. You are not young, old, strong, weak, healthy, unhealthy, stupid, intelligent, nothing. You break all those barriers. And that is why it's a unique state of consciousness. So that we call as um, Drishtanta Swapna. Drishtanta Swapna means you get revelations. Because in awakeful state, we are limited in intelligence, we are limited in consciousness, and therefore the wisdom cannot come in awakeful state. Because anyway, we are limited. So in dream state, we are unlimited. And therefore, all these wisdoms to yogis and jnanis, they get in dreams. The God will find it comfortable and convenient to bless someone in dream. Because suppose the God comes in your awakeful state, you cannot even believe that this is God. You won't believe that this is God, and then the blessing, and you say, hell with it. Don't speak nonsense. But dream state is totally different. We never doubt the experience of dream. We can doubt experience of awakeful state. Is it true? Is it untrue? Is it fallacy? Is it illusion? But in dream state, we never have this doubt. With full conviction, we take the cognition, we take the perception, we take the experience. We don't have any kind of doubt. So the dream is such an enormous state of consciousness. We just think dream is dream. No, dream is not just dream. Dream is also dream consciousness. So I have spoken about what is dormancy. What is dream state? Dream state comes out of dormancy. In dormancy, you are totally unlimited. You are universal. You are not personal. You don't have your name, but you are there. In awakeful state, you cannot be there but not having your name. You cannot be uh, having no status in awakeful state. But in dormant state, the king, the emperor, and a beggar are on equal level. Emperor is sleeping in his fallacious, glorious bedroom, and this person is on a pavement. Perhaps he is sleeping on a street. But once they are in state of sleep, it's a great levelizer.
Yes.
There is no difference between a poverty of a poor person and the affluency of a rich person. Stupid and intelligent, stupid and wise, levelized. It's a great levelizer. So that's a huge condition, marvelous condition, incredible condition of our consciousness. And now the dream appears in sleep. Not having slept, you won't get dream. The dream will always come in sleep. It's a part of sleep. Sleep is something like canvas on which the dream manifests. You can't say, I'm not sleeping, but I'm dreaming. That's not dream state. It is a daydreaming. You can be in a dream world in a wakeful state. So we are in dream world in a wakeful state. But while we are fast asleep, we go to genuine dream world, not virtual. While in a wakeful state, we may go to dream land, which is virtual dream, not real dream. So these are three states of consciousness which need some kind of inquiry into them. And then we will know what this dream is. So there are allegorical dreams, prophetic dreams. So there are various classes of dreams. And one of them is revelatory dream.
Mm-hmm.
Revelatory dream. It gives you a revelation. Some dreams are prophetic. Now, in case of Guruji, it was also prophecy. My mother and father, they had a prophetic dream that they said, now your problems are over. Your problems will now end. So it was a prophecy. Sometimes they are allegorical. We can't make out what the dream means.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
a coded language. We don't understand. It's an allegory. The common man will not understand the allegory in it. So there are so many kinds of dreams.
Yeah.
And this was a revelatory dream for Guruji, a prophetic dream for Guruji and my mother. And that's why it became a reality in their life. All dreams don't fructify in reality. Most of our dreams are not fructifying at all, or maybe counter productive.
Mm-hmm.
You get a dream that you will become rich, and then actually you become poorer and poorer and poorer. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, to be having the dream is really you need to be blessed. You should be blessed person to really have the dream, the kind of dream that my father and mother had. Otherwise, you all get dream. Nobody is without dream at any night. Every night we have dreams, but many of them we don't remember. Most of them we don't remember because we do go through dream state of consciousness. But the dreams are not so clear many times. And many times they say, no, I did not have any dream. It's not possible.
Mm.
It's not possible according to psychology. You will have dream. Maybe they are not significant. You forget by the time you come to a wakeful state. But the dream is a reality. It's a state of consciousness. Anyway, that was a revelatory dream for Guruji and Mother, whereby all of us were fortunate. We got the umbrella of uh, affluency
Mm-hmm.
because of what they dreamt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think generation after generation, we are under that umbrella.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to On the Light. This episode prompted me to reread Prashantji's chapter in Yoga and the New Millennium on Dreams. I shall read to you an excerpt from the very last page in the book. Here he says, "At this point, you should know that the dream is an outcome of the state of sleep, and unless you are in the state of sleep, you cannot go into a state of dreams. In the state of sleep, we are on the bosom of divinity. Every day, every being cherishes to go back to the ultimate parent, just like the child wants his parents and cannot be separated from them for too long. This is a fate of all beings. Don't just think we go to sleep just because the body is tired or the brain is fatigued. We need to go back and keep going back into the laps of divinity, just as the child wants to go back to the laps of the mother. Divinity is omniscient, omnipotent, and yogis do become that in their dreams. Nothing much can be attained in the realms of religious and spiritual consciousness without dreams." I want to thank you all for listening and supporting the podcast. If you're able to contribute a small monthly donation to help sustain the cost of the podcast, it would be deeply appreciated. You can find the link to do that in the show notes. If you have suggestions for teachers you'd love to hear from, or if you'd like to be interviewed yourself, please reach out. I can be contacted at iywithsusan@gmail.com. And the next few short weeks, I'm going to be getting caught up on new interviews in preparation for season 4. In the meantime, I will be re-releasing some significant episodes that I think are worth re-listening to. Thank you to all of you listeners, and especially to the guests of season 3 who shared their luminous stories of our beloved Guruji and about this beautiful method. Until season 4, namaskar.